2, 1, go. Blast off to adventure in the year 4000 with Cadet Stimpy and Commander Hulk.
There we go.
I just love that. You have to watch this Don Crickfalusi thing. It's Ren and Stimpy from the,
Oh, yeah.
the 90s, the late 90s.
Well, welcome everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
There's only a couple more trading days left in the month.
Oh, yeah, the monthly candle close.
Yep.
Really
And Halloween too. You got a costume?
Yeah, I'm dressed as a trader. That's the spookiest thing I know. I know. I'll probably put my son's frog eyes on. You got this little headband. It looks like frog eyes. It's really cute. In the past, once upon a time, did I tell this story already? I dress like you always see these sitcom episodes where somebody like way overdresses for Halloween and goes to work, and like the only person dressed up.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
That was me once. Did I tell you that story last time?
No.
So I found this really cool costume. It was like a devil costume, and it came with this really nifty prosthetic that you like glued down to your face and like painted the whole thing. And I did like a really careful job on it. And so I showed up to the work looking like the devil. And oh my God, there were a couple people that were like freaked out. Like some people were just like, oh, I can't look at that.
Yeah.
And I was the only person who dressed up.
You were sent home immediately right now.
No, like I stuck it out the whole day. It was hilarious.
Yes, happy Monday, everybody. So, yeah, we got some people joining here. Maybe give it a few more seconds.
Yeah. Let them watch your commercials. I need to watch your commercials and see what they're giving you commercials for these days.
The one that I get all the time is like the buy on blue, whatever that indicator.
Buy on blue.
I don't know. It's some kind of indicator they're advertising.
Yeah, I just realized it doesn't. I mean, like everyone's going to get ads targeted to them. So if they spend a lot of time searching on the internet for Hummel figures, they're probably getting ads for Hummel figures. All right. Well, you want to start with the indices?
Yeah, I'll just kick it off right here.
All right.
Yeah, I see Sofi in there. So we are still at resistance, everybody. And on the weekly chart, 2 weeks in a row just closed for the SPY right there at around the 585. Daily chart still is looking like it's going to be pre-market below that resistance too. So we'll see if this week can get back above right before the election, but maybe not, right? Maybe it's just going to keep getting rejected until after the election. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. And no change with the QQQ either. Oh, actually, there is a change. It is going to open above that 1.414. Possibly. I mean, there's still...
It's going to test its previous resistance, right?
Yeah, but if it opens above the 497.46, that could be a good thing for continuation. So let's watch this open to see if it opens above 497.46. So that's right now it's 498.11. So that's a good development for the
QQQ. Resist that previous high in July.
Yeah, or even this wick that happened on Friday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And IWM, where's that going to be pre-market? This is on linear scale. So yeah, that's looking to open up above the 702, the 219.79 right there. Pre-market is at 220.04. So just, there's lots of good price action happening pre-market, opening above possible resistance levels. So this could be a good indicator that things might want to continue higher throughout the week. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I think the thing everybody wants to watch today is about Tesla, right?
Oh yeah,
they always
looking for a green day.
All right, looking for a green day.
Curious Pagey saying, "Are you guys ready for another 20% up day?"
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't think so either, but definitely, I think we'll see shades of green today.
Yep. Let me just pull up my linear scale first, or actually, no, the log scale on here. So what I'm watching is the 702, the halfway on log scale between the 786 and the 618. So that's 272.79. I would love to see it open above that for a weekly candle open, because that could lead to a lot more continuation. But if it doesn't, it could still be resistance. And then if I go
Look
to
at that
my
pre-market. That
just
pre-market
pre-market,
price is over the line.
and just right here on my arc, it's gonna pre-market be opening up possibly right on it exactly. So it could still be resistance, guys. I'm not sure, but it would be great to see some momentum pre-market just to continue to open up a lot higher, and that could mean more continuation. But if not, it still could be resistance, that 270 to 272, 273, around that zone. So still a little bit cautious here because it is resistance. You can see it right here clearly. So basically, I'm really looking for maybe just another daily candle or weekly candle close getting above, making higher highs as well. So this continuation does look good, but it has to surpass this 272 level first.
Correct. Oh, can't.
And you got a chart?
Yeah, please. Let's see. Throw me up here. I've been doing this lately. Tesla and Bitcoin side by side, and you can see they're both working on breaking out. And actually, just before we started, Bitcoin did break above this level here. We'll talk about that in a second. But focusing on Tesla, I see that we did actually get a pre-market like 4 a.m. toe over the previous 52-week high of 271. We got to 271. What is this? 271.90, and then it went right back down to the Ichimoku baseline on the 15-minute chart here, and we're back. We're towing the line at 271 again. I think it could probably dip down here to 266.25. We've already hit my 764 extension. I think it'll do like a quick, like a flash run down to 266.25 possibly with a 382 just to catch all those people who were like, "Oh, I should have sold on Friday," whatever. And then it just immediately like runs back up again. And so I'm looking for 278, then a test back to about 275, and then an extension up to the 290 area. And I say the 290 area because while this 5 waves tracks out to 292.44, I've got a much larger degree chart that says the 764 extension would top out at 290.13. And so if we get price that just stays really close to 290.13 and seems to top out and starts to pull back, I'll be watching the retrace. And at first, it'll look like an ABC down probably to about 270-ish, which would just, I'm sorry, yeah, 270-ish, which would almost look like it's just testing this 266.25 maybe. But then if it can't get higher than 278 again, then I'm going to start to suspect a larger retrace. So this would just be like a smaller leg of the A, and then the B, and then the C. And this is like the thing that would really rattle everyone. And but it'll probably bottom out at 237.84. This doesn't have to happen. This is just if it does do this ABC down to here, can't get higher than 278. If it does, it'll just keep going. And then I won't be looking for 290.13 anymore. I'll be looking for my other path, which I have to show you. Wait, I just have a different chart. It's already got it, don't I? No, 4 hours. This thing that I've been showing you guys. So if 290 doesn't stop it, then it doesn't really stop until 417 next for this other path. Because remember, I've got the chart with the 3 possible paths. Maybe it's on an 8-hour chart. I'm sorry. I've got here it's format for 8 hours. So I'm basically we're either gonna rule in or rule out this third path. That's the black path, and then that just would leave us with the blue or the brown path. Blue path tops out at 417. If it doesn't stop there, then it's the ABC. This is the preferred path I actually have. Is that it corrects up to like a new all-time high. It's almost as if Tesla is correcting to a price that the market subconsciously knew all along, but it's been suppressed by all this consolidation action over the last 3 years. So it's just finally being released to the 710.59.
Yep.
We'll see. I'm the Tesla tracker, and that's what I do. I track Tesla, and I'll be watching these levels very carefully. But for now,
and also just like that, after this move, analysts keep raising their price targets as well, just because they gotta
at $5 at a time, right? They just kind of keep following the moving average or whatever.
Well, Gary Black put his back at 300 now. I mean,
good for him.
That guy's been bearish for a while, really. But the charts were saying support was holding, so of course they're gonna just follow the charts afterwards.
So I wrote a post this morning with this exact thing I'm talking about now. Just look for a potential pullback. It doesn't have to do this. It could have said, I already argued it back here. I'm not going down anymore. And it could just keep going up and never pull back at all until it reaches the next target. So in other words, if it's not going to 290, if it's going to like 400, well, 300 next, like it wouldn't even stop until it got to 299. Like we're possibly going to blow past 271, and then it'll stop up near 300. And if it blows past 300, then it's going for my 4 or something target. Anywho, that's what we're watching.
Well, that's my Tesla for Sofi. If you
one last thing. I'm sorry. Just looking back at this daily chart, and I get this question all the time now. It's like, but tracker, what about all these price gaps? Is it going to fill this price gap? No, because when you get all this gap down, then this gap up just matches all that gap down. It's already reciprocated the gap downs with this gap up, so it doesn't. That's part of what this island reversal is all about. It front ran this price all the way down here, tested the support, found it, and now it's going back to the other process, and all these price gaps have just taken care of themselves.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Go do your Sofi.
All right. So, just really quickly. So here's Sofi weekly chart. There's my 50% level at 1095, and that level is from the all-time high to the all-time low, and it closed the week last week above it, and it looks like it's going to open above this week as well. So 2 weeks in a row possibly above this 1095. Could that really mean that it really wants to go higher and higher? Well, that is a possibility, but have to take into consideration this big wick over here too, and that goes all the way up to 1170. So this was a lot of sell pressure up here in the past. So we got to just surpass that first in order to go higher. So that's what I'm really focused on, is just to see if it's able to get back above there. But if not, it still could be a lot of resistance. But the important thing is seeing if it can actually hold this 50% level, 1095. So I'll be watching that throughout the week just to see if it can close day over day over day over it. If it can, then maybe it'll be like Palantir and just push higher and higher.
Very cool. I see some questions about like RMD surveillance is asking, will this be regardless of the election for Tesla? And my opinion is it doesn't. The election outcome does not matter. The election itself is just a bottleneck for price action. It's kind of like slowing everything down. And then once the election is over, then it'll release the floodgates and everyone will just do what they're going to do anyway. In my opinion, the great everything rally has already begun, and we're just going to be hitting the stops along the way. Nothing's going to change it. Doesn't matter who gets elected.
It's in the charts that lots of things are just beginning. Like an ARKK is showing that with growth stocks, and even Zoom is showing that very bullish stuff. So, I mean, things are just beginning. And I see the question about Sofi here about hedge or do nothing for earnings. I mean, it had a super gigantic rise. So any kind of hedge would be, I think, kind of wise. That's what I would think for me personally. But you got to make that decision yourself. But essentially, this is a bullish chart. And can it come back down? Yes, it can. Right? It could easily come back down to $10 too, maybe even the 9s as well. But this zone right here is super attractive to me. If it ever did break back below that 50%, I think it would definitely hold in that zone. So hedge before earnings, I mean, sure, why not? But nothing goes up in a straight line, guys. You guys got to understand that. And any kind of retrace would be healthy and accepted and normal.
And we just allow price to continue on higher afterwards.
Yeah. it could just keep going too. But either way, it's a bullish chart, so it doesn't matter if it goes down after earnings a little bit or continues higher. So very, very bullish chart in the long run now.
Ooh.
Let's see what else we got here. We got SoFi, we got MSTR. There we go.
Before we do MSTR, can I just do my Bitcoin real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Bitcoin, we already had. It's this large trend. It's been in this consolidation triangle pattern, like this, and so it's got this descending resistance trend line along the top here, and so then following that top, so far we've had now 3 breakouts for that trend line. We had one where it just touched it and then wasn't really a breakout. So it touched it, then pulled back, then it broke out above, and then the third time we just now had, like literally like 15 minutes ago, it broke over since it's a descending trend line. Every time it hits it, the target is a little bit lower, and so now Bitcoin's asking 68,892. Based on if we get this 5-wave impulse up from this, where it kind of like had 65,000, it ran up. I had an extension, but it just fell back over again into a wider extended flat of this too. So from the 65,521 low, I'm looking for 69,595 next. The pullback to test the top of this, it might come all the way up to here at 68,633, and then extend to this 2618 at 72,113. And then it would do like a little, probably a ABC down, and then just start going up again, hopefully. So look out for these price targets. If it falls back into this zone again below 68,700 today, actually it would have to fall lower than 67,445. Then I'd start to worry about it doing something stupid. But so far it looks great. Bitcoin looks like it's going to break out of this, and then once it does break out of this triangle, every time there's a triangle and it breaks out of one of these triangles, it always moves significantly higher than when it started. So that all-time high of 73,783 will probably get up to at least 94,000, for example. And I've got this larger extension actually that's just going 83,850 to 77,600 up to 99,000 and $97. There you go. That's my, and then here's my, if for some reason you don't already follow me, that's my handle right there at SBZUNG. All right, Matt, take it away. Oh, wait, Matt, you're still muted.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
right. One thing about Bitcoin is from the all-time high back here in March and that low back in August 5th, this retrace of the 702, it's actually never closed a daily candle above it since it broke back above. Like even this candle was like 66,601. This one was 66,578 by $1. It closed above. But yeah, it never closed a weekly or a daily candle below it. So I'm really watching this 786 next to see if it can close a daily candle and continue closing daily candles on top of this 68,612. So this is some interesting developments, how bullish this actually is. And for all the people out there saying it's going to go down to the 64.3, I mean, 64 could be possible, but like 61, 60,000 or below, I just don't see it anymore, is because of this really strong bullish previous resistance kind of flipping to a support zone. So I think Bitcoin looks great for continuation, which is going to be good for MicroStrategy and also Coinbase. And speaking of MicroStrategy, here we go. It's going to open up right around resistance as well, the 245.46 Fibonacci level. So this is looking like right underneath that 245.04. So does it have the potential to break through? Of course it does, but this is kind of a resistance zone, so just something that I'm watching right now. But if Bitcoin can keep pressing through to 69, maybe 70,000, then I think MicroStrategy can also break higher as well. And then the target is the blue level up there, 300 for the shorter term.
Just a quick message reminder: if you really like MicroStrategy, You can also buy the 2x bullish ETF called MSTX.
MSTX. All right. Do you have MicroStrategy or just continue on?
Let me see real quick. Sorry, I was like behind. MST. I do have a MicroStrategy. I'm not so sure though. My MicroStrategy says that we would get some resistance at 253.48, pull back shallowly to 224, and then it goes on to 423.
Well, there you have it.
In a big third wave up.
Yeah, I can see it. Once Bitcoin breaks out, then coin's going to break out, then MicroStrategy is going to break out. They're all going to break out. So it's all just waiting on all-time highs for coin or for Bitcoin, really.
Yeah.
So, all right, I see a request for AMD. So earnings, I believe, are coming soon for AMD. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yep.
And where is price? Well, price did almost go back to the arc I've been talking about the whole week last week, and even the level below. Didn't quite get there, but where's price going to open up this week? Well, looking currently, it's right above the 50-week moving average. So if that gets reclaimed for the week and flips back to a support, then that might show positive price action after the earnings. So I'm looking at maybe challenging the previous candles up here, maybe the 180s or so in the future. But this support has been holding nicely. So regardless, I was saying last week, that whole zone that price was in was very good for a possible accumulation because it looks like it wants to go higher. So.
Yep. You don't have to throw to me. I can just tell you that my target for AMD from here is almost 300. It's 298.84. So I'm very bullish on AMD from here.
Yeah, and I can see that happening too. Just after this support holds, maybe 198, and then there's lots of room to even the 400s up there. So this looks really, really bullish. But yeah, a previous resistance level basically flipping to a support is what I've always saw. So this is looking better and better for AMD.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Nvidia here. What's that one doing pre-market? 143. Look at that. So we did get an all-time high weekly candle close last Friday, and that is fabulous for continuation. So I'm looking for holding this previous all-time high, 140.76 as support. Would it be bad to go back down to the 130s? No, it wouldn't, but I would just prefer it holds on top of the 140.76. So then, therefore, the continuation to the 150s and 160s would happen basically automatically if that held.
My Nvidia, my next target is it's in a minor third wave up to 182.63 is my next target. It might extend even higher to 195.27 based on it going from the 764 to the 236. I'm targeting the 1236. So that's why 182.63. But it could go to 195.27. And then if it does 182.63, it pulls back to 162.19 before heading up to 248.78. But if it goes higher to 195.27, it still pulls back to 162.19, but then goes up to like 281.86. That's my Nvidia price targeting.
Nice. And next is Novavax. And I like this chart. I still like it. I tried to buy some at 950 on Friday, but I only got to 952, so it didn't hit my order. But this 45-degree angle right there is what I'm really targeting. And also, you got a bullish cross too from the 50 crossing above the 100-week moving average. So you got lots of confluence in this zone that this kind of wants to hold as support, even though it did lose that 236 to 1032. I think the market symmetry alone speaks for itself that this has a really good potential to being a bottom right here because it's a breakout and a successful backtest so far. That's all it is. It even touched the 100-week back here, and now it's touching the 45-degree angle once again. So this has a potential to be a quick double in the future. I'm not saying it will, but I think it has that possibility because this support is holding well. So I do like it. It is lagging a little bit. That's because it's just cooling off. It had a gigantic move all the way up to the 382, and now it's just cooling off a little bit.
Bollinger Bands are cooling off.
Yeah.
And look at your moving average 50 is doing a bullish cross to the 100?
Yeah, the 50 is doing a bullish cross of the 100. So,
Woo-hoo.
but yeah, the Bollinger Bands are actually acting as support. So there's so much confluence that this is support, in my opinion. So it has a really good possibility to rebound, right? I'm not saying it will this week or whatever, but just this zone, just looking at the symmetry with the fibs on there, it looks perfect for me. Like you can even go back in time where it's basically a previous support zone over here too, you know, before it broke down, and then it was a resistance right here before it exploded higher. So everything about this zone is attractive to me for Novavax, and I think it really has potential to explode higher.
Yep, I've got a crazy, a crazy good chart for Novavax. So hold on to your hats, folks. We're down here in this little triangle of consolidation that's finishing up, and I'm looking for an ABC correction back up to this all-time high. Is it an all-time high? Yes, the all-time high after the pandemic of 331.68. So that means my first target on the way there is 128.88 from what it's at 974 now. So here's a 10 bagger right here. I put a nice small to medium small position in this because it's got a 1,218% upside from here as I see it. So maybe I don't know if I should be scared or excited or like scared and excited that is this monkeypox? Is like some other new thing coming out that's going to hit us all, or are they simply going to turn and make some new product that's really beneficial and fantastic for humanity that doesn't have to fight disease?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, this stock is super volatile, so you got to understand the risk before entering a trade there.
Look at all this. It's just nuts.
Yeah,
and it's entirely possible it could start this A wave, fail, fall all the way back down over here, and then go back to the A wave and then complete it.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. You probably see it that it's in the bottom of a range right now. So that's exactly what I like to see. I mean, I don't like to buy resistance. I like to buy support. And what I see right now is support. And until that changes, I'm not going to change my view on it.
You have this nice rounded bottom, and then it breaks out. And we have another nice rounded bottom that's starting to break out. See, like right here is a little triangle. It's like this little triangle, but this one's just longer. All right, so Novavax going, a 12 bagger easy.
And the next one, do you got an SSRM chart?
SSRM. I do not. I can make one. You can, if you.
Yeah, I'll take a look on mine first.
All right.
So here's just the symmetry of it all for SSRM, SSR mining. And basically, it did go to each level perfectly over time. And it held this orange level as a support. So that was the bottom, it looks like. But now it's really challenging to break through levels above. You had this huge bearish engulfing candle breaking through my angle. So that is going to be a pretty good resistance on the way up. So maybe 678 is going to be that resistance. And plus, when you add on the confluence of the Ichimoku, it is at the cloud of resistance. So not sure if it's going to have much more room to run because it did hold a nice bottom. So to get more bullish on this one, I would like to see it back above my angle and within the cloud. Then it would have a chance to go higher. And even when you add the moving averages, it's also at that 50-week moving average right there as well. So it's at resistance right now and not really attractive to me at this point. But it does have potential if it does eventually break through this level right there.
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like once it gets over 695, it might be better suited. Let's see, like, because I'm just looking back here at this spike right. Where's my control key? Right here. Nope, I missed it. Right. Just go to your home. I'll just hand do it. Like right there. Like about 695. Once it gets over 69.95 and tests back to it, it can start to run. I've just done a simple ABC retrace back to this previous high at 23.79. So it should go ABC if it's going to do the bullish thing. So look for 11.54 next. 8.64, then 16.21. And if this fills out and doesn't completely lose it, then it builds into, this becomes an A, and then this is like a B, and then you get a C wave that's like 61.8% of this wave up here. It's just how that works.
Nice.
Yeah. So then this becomes the A wave, or I can actually draw it real quick. Just to, like A, B, and then it would come up to 220, 266, just under where these two previous highs were. So that would be like first wave and then like the larger degree. And I could do it again after that, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Next target's 1110. Let's see if we can get over or get to, I'm sorry, it's actually higher than that. 1140. My next target's 1140.
All right.
Let me bring it back to this.
And there we go. Yeah, I think. Are you done?
Sorry, 1154. 1154.
Okay. Yeah, I just think it needs to break this resistance right now in order to get there, but it has potential.
Yep. What's next?
All right, I skipped over Google for Genvest there, so I think I'm going to do that right now. But I see it kind of still stuck in a range. It's been very boring, but it has really good potential to continue higher. But I don't know if it's going to be this week or next or not. Right, tomorrow is the earnings. So we'll see what really develops with Google, and that baseline is at 169.48. So therefore, if it can start to get above it, then it has a clear shot up to the 190s up here, maybe. But if the earnings are just okay, then it could probably just still drift sideways and just go back to finally touch the cloud, because it never really touched the cloud since it broke back above. So therefore, that could be a possible target. And there's so much confluence in that zone. There would be the 50-week, the conversion line, the cloud, and all that. So let's see. It has potential to break above, but also has potential just to stay in this zone and trade sideways or down a little bit as well. But I think the risk is kind of limited, and there is probably more upside than there is downside. So therefore, I think it has a good shot of performing well.
Very cool. I've got the similar sort of story with Google. I still see a lot more upside with it. I did a quick ABC retrace. If this was like, if you count this as 5 waves up and it does 3 waves down, it could go as deep as 124.53. If, I don't know, things like really look dire on earnings. It's just as likely, though, that it could have finished up right here at this 382, and it's sort of fainting. Like, this was the ABC, it was really shallow. And it also is the equivalent of retracing to 50% of the original wave one move. So, what I'll just tell you is, like, either the bottom's in, or if things look bad, just don't sell. Like, just look at it as an opportunity to buy more. If it pulls back down to 135.51, like, don't freak out. Just like, oh, buy more. And then, because eventually the next target after that is, for me, it's 272.63. Possibly 305 if this is 2005 and it goes to the 1618 instead of the 1382.
Yeah, the future still looks pretty good for.
Yeah. And this 5 wave chart tops out at 409.76, but possibly 442.12.
There we
go. Lots of room for Google. Just hang on to that one.
Yeah. And next, I will look at Neo here, and Neo is still stuck under a lot of resistance. So for me, it's just it's looking better and better. It looks like it did hold a floor here, and it shot up, got rejected by resistance, but now it didn't really hold any support on the way down. So it is possible to just hold this new level as a support zone, right down there around $5. I think because there's a lot of like support with these previous candles here and over here and all these candles over here with that zone. So I think it has that possibility, but anytime it gets back up to maybe 550, 560, 570, it's going to be, or 580, it could be a strong resistance. And I can't really get more excited about it until it gets back inside the cloud and tries to push higher.
Let's see. I saw a request for DJT, and I hadn't done a chart for DJT yet, Donald J. Trump World. I'm just kind of looking and seeing what's going on here. That was a 764. So putting this back. Maybe I should go to 764 for this and bring this up and bring this down. So this one might run to 45.57 next. Test back to about where it is now at 37.58, and then move on up to 63.42 next. Is my TA for this right now. You can take a screenshot if you want. Right there.
Yeah,
just look at the numbers on the right. So it's going to 45.57 next. Then it retraces back to 37.58, and then on up to 63.42.
Yeah, it does have potential to keep going. That's for sure.
So usually it should have resisted here the 382 and gone back to the 236, but it hasn't. It's already crossed over it, so I think it's going to the next fib.
Well, it's also gapping up pre-market, huh?
Oh, is it? Cool. Wait, I didn't even see that.
DJT.
Yeah, it gapped up a little bit. 42
bucks, but there is some resistance up above around like 46.01, or $46. So I think that could be the next resistance zone for DJT. I'll just show mine real quick. Yeah, the top of the cloud of the Ichimoku is just right there, 45, 46. So I can see price getting there.
And I got 45.57 for my really target.
And also the previous candles are up there. That could be resistance too. So yeah, it has a little more room to run, but it had a gigantic move. So it could come back and retest levels easily. So just be a little bit cautious with that.
Is that the assassination attempt at the bottom there?
Possibly, yeah. Like when BlackRock shorted DJT right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. Datadog. Yeah, Datadog.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Datadog looks pretty good. It's above all resistance, so everything's support, and it has room to go back up to the blue level, 135. But as you can see in the past, it has been a major resistance level, and then plus on top of that, there's the arc above. So this is going to be maybe tough to break, and possibly it might just be stuck in this wedge for some time until it's ready to just break out of the arc and go higher. So it is a bullish chart, but it doesn't look explosive to me yet because of all this resistance above. Yeah,
I see a resistance story too for Datadog. It looks like it wants to go kind of like DJT World. I think it wants to go to 167.36 next. I actually have 164.44 for a 5-wave move up. Then pulls back to 191, and then these numbers are wrong. Wait, what are you doing there? This one right here. It goes to 164.44, then back to 147.87, then up to 191.13 ish, 191.17. If it can get to 164.44 and it doesn't lose it down here at 147.87. And I'm not sure about this ABC retrace because this actually might be, this could turn out to be I'm sorry, 1, 2. Yeah, I'm just going to delete this for now. But, just looking for, just doing a retrace for the bottom here at 61.34 back to its all-time high of $200.11. 167.36 is what I'm looking for. The 76% retrace. That's my D-Dog.
Very good.
And then I saw a request for Soxel, SOXL. Oh, I haven't done Soxel yet. Oh, it's a bullish 3x of semiconductors.
Yeah.
You haven't done it.
Yeah, I have a Soxel that I'll just share real quick while you work on that. And Soxel, it's at resistance, really. I got my arc right there. It's basically back in the cloud. Then you got the 50-week. You got everything up above the cloud. Is like this whole zone looks like resistance to me. But since support did hold quite well, I think this resistance can get broken, but I'm not sure how soon. So I guess we'll see maybe based off of like AMD earnings and whatnot. It probably could break through sooner than later, but just a little bit cautious here at this resistance level. But once it's really above let's just say $40, then I think it's got a clear shot to like 46 and maybe even the 50s above. So bullish structure, but just stuck under some resistance right there.
I've got a feeling about Soxel. I think it's going to do. I'm going to have to turn on a couple of these lines. My 250. I don't have one. All right, you're now 250. I think it's going to go to the 100% next at 87.30. Pull back to the 50% level at 55.38. Extend to the 150% level at 119.23. Pull back to 123.6% fib at 102.37, and then finish out at 250. Maybe extend to 2618 around 183 to 190. That's my Soxel prediction. We'll see how this turns out. Once I get a bigger 1-2 of this wave going up, I can give you a more accurate prediction of where that wave one's going to stop. But this looks like this is a wave. I'm sorry. This is wave start, wave one, wave two. Now this is in wave three, sub one, sub two, then sub four, sub three, sub four, and this is all of wave three completed here. All of wave four to all of wave five. That's just how I do my charts. It's kind of a weird. I do it weird because it's just faster to draw one line instead of like 2 lines. But like this would actually be all of wave three, sub one, sub two, sub three, sub four, and sub five is all of three. Anyway, whoops, nope, not that one.
Well, I think that's all the time I got, anyways. But
Sure.
basically, I got to do my private live stream for the tier 5 on Patreon. If you guys are interested, you can join there. And Tracker has his $2 a month subscription as well.
I do right here on X. It's so cheap. And I've got 150 some tickers now, stock symbols that I'm tracking. And there are, I think I wrote this morning, like there's like 50 of them at least that have an even more bullish price target for the next wave up than Palantir.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, until next time, it's been a great show. Thank you.
Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, yes.